Hey y'all, this is Prof Grizwald, and tonight's video doesn't really have a format. It's probably just going to be some stream of consciousness. This is probably the first video of mine that you've ever seen. If, of course, you're seeing this, I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. And right now, I'm just going to be thinking aloud on what I want to work on and what I think is really going to open up and help me excel. Not just when it comes with the idea of making content for YouTube, but for making content in general. I am a creative, and I really like making creative things in creative projects. I love working with people in different aspects of creativity. Lately, I've been working on this project. I've been talking to artists. I've been talking to writers, programmers, stuff like that, trying to broaden my horizons, make myself better while trying to take the money that I've made in my job, my first job that I've gotten, in all my life. I'm only 19, and trying to get that money and put it in directions, putting things forward. Not exactly sure the best way to word that, but while that's happening, while I'm talking to these people and they're helping me do things, I want to also grow, work my brain case in a way that makes it so I'm making creative things all the time. So a sort of idea for a creative set of projects that I've been really interested in making is homebrew classes for D&D. And this is probably where the majority of people will drop off, just because it's kind of a niche thing. And then even more niche is a homebrew subclass for D&D, specifically 5e. Homebrew class for D&D that is based on League of Legends champions. And then that's a secondary level where it's all going to fall off. So, yeah, I guess the whole kind of idea is you just kind of start at the top of the list and you work your way down. I think a smarter way to start out would be to do subclasses of most all of them that are interesting enough to be turned into them. The main goal being that you're trying to deliver on the fantasy of said champion. And so, yeah, that's like the main goal. Let me look up the list of League of Legends characters right now. League of Legends characters. And so, there's like a good 150, over 150 now, I believe. And so there's a bunch of different ways we could do this. We could do A through Z, but I don't know. I think we should just do it based on whatever interests us. I was working with a friend of mine on Galio. We have it very rough right now, and I think Galio is pretty cool. He's a guardian. In here it says his role is a tank, even though he's mostly played as a burst mage assassin, which is quite funny. And we have a really rough class right now, which is to be expected. This is like last night we were just kind of putting ideas down, and it was kind of fun. And yeah. And then we got a bunch of, not backlash, just kind of like ideas like, hey, this isn't that good, you can make it a lot better, stuff like that. And I completely agree. Right now we have some features, some good ideas, different things, some subclasses, ideas. But I'm thinking the best way for us to do this really is to start from making subclasses. So we have this folder here, and then new, Google Docs, create share, yep. And then let's do the Colossus subclass. It'll be a something subclass, obviously. It needs to be a subclass for some base class that's in the normal array of D&D 5e classes. Let me look this up. D&D Beyond is a nice, good place. So, thinking of Galio's role in a team, at least based on, what people think of when they think of Galio. People don't really think of a massive, high-damaging burst mage. They're thinking of this nice guy. He's got a, kind of a dumb accent. He doesn't sound very smart. He's just like, all right, and he's like, I'll protect you. He has his taunt, his big AoE taunt, and he has His big uppercut, and in the story he's absolutely massive. He can kind of fly a bit. He can help his teammates. That's a big thing. That's his whole ultimate idea. He can help his teammates. And so if we just take a look at all these classes, I wish there was a better way to look at these, but let's see. Artificer doesn't really work out, I'd say. Bard doesn't really work out. Barbarian, I don't know, I wouldn't really say that works out either, because that's more like attacking. That's not really what we're going for. Bard doesn't really work. Cleric is an idea, at least. Because it's defending, it's helping your team. Druid, no. Fighter is very versatile. You can kind of do fighter subclass with anything, it seems. Monk, I probably wouldn't say so, just because it's also, very fighting based, But who knows, maybe. Paladin could be cool. Same sort of tanky sort of archetype where, you're helping or hindering, things like that. Ranger, no. Rogue, no. Sorcerer, Wizard, Warlock, no. Blood Hunter, no. Alright, let's open up these three. Fighter and Cleric. Alright, I think those are our pretty good choices. And now we can kind of look at these and decide which best fits Galio. Plate armor, that definitely fits because, heavy armor making you tanky so you can, I just bit my tongue. It's kind of funny. Making you tanky so you can tank for your team. You don't just do your taunt feature, whatever we happen to manifest that in the form of D&D for the subclass. And then you just immediately die because you get hit by 10 people, in one battle round. All right, so let's see. Sacred Oath feature, and then Sacred Oath. So it's level 3, level 7, level 15, and level 20. All right, yeah. Okay, that seems good. So let's write this down. Oh wait, let me look at the other ones. So yeah, Paladin does seem really good. In clanging plate armor, holds shield. All these heroes are fighters, perhaps the most diverse class of the characters in the world's Dungeons and Dragons. Questing knights, conquering overlords, royal champions, elite foot soldiers, hardened mercenaries, and bandit kings. As fighters, they all share an unparalleled mastery with weapons and armor. That doesn't really fit. I mean, obviously, you could be, big tank fighter. I guess that would work. But that can be later. I feel like Paladin works really well. And then let's look at Cleric. Clerics are intermediaries between the mortal world and the distant planes of the gods. As varied as the gods they serve, clerics strive to embody the handiwork of their deities. No ordinary priest, a cleric is imbued with divine magic. That'd be interesting, but it kind of does go against the whole idea of Galio. The whole idea of Galio is that, he's this big honking boy, and he's magic resistant. He has this purple magic shield health bar in-game, so having him be based on a class that is imbued with magic doesn't quite make sense. Obviously, it might also... a Paladin's Oath is a powerful bond. It's a source. So this is more based on your oath to your god, I guess, not exactly being imbued with magic. So yeah, I feel like Paladin really hit some mark in my opinion. Please feel free to, down in the comments, give your opinion. I love, talking about these things, trying to make it more. And if you look at what I'm working on, you really like it, you can take it for yourself, make it your own, make it better for you yourself, and then, or for your DM, whoever you want to bring this to, be like, hey, I want to play this subclass. I saw this video by Prof Grizwald, give me a little help, thank you. Be like, hey, I found the subclass, it's a little rough though. Would it be better if I changed this here, that, or the other? And they're like, oh yeah, that sounds great, let's get into this game, and bam, you could play. You can summon the fantasy, you can live the fantasy of Galio in D&D 5e real well, which is the main goal of me doing all this. Alright, so let's look at Paladin. I'm pretty familiar with Paladin, I believe, so let's see, Divine Sense, yep, that fits, yeah, all this fits Galio. Lay on Hand, that's cool, he doesn't really heal, but, whatever. So it's helping your teammate. That's the main important part. So you need to pick your sacred oath. So I would assume it would be the sacred oath of the Colossus. Let's do this. Paladin. Paladin. Paladin oath, I guess we can call it. Alright. Let's go to the header. Title. Oath of the Colossus. And so the general idea of this in, when I imagine this in a game of D&D, if it's like let me restart what I'm saying. So when I was really interested in making this, I was like, yeah, make whole classes based off of League of Legends champions. It's going to be great. But then I realized how difficult that was, and that's why I'm trying to start small, start with subclasses, and just go from there with this kind of foothold. And then, people will be interested, they'll be giving their ideas, and then as a community, it can become a much better, more solid set of projects that people can really look at and, make their opinions on, other than, oh, I know it's made by a couple guys, there are obvious problems that aren't worth pointing out, not even going to comment, So yeah, starting small is really smart. But my idea was, let's say you wanted the Irelia class. Irelia is a really cool character. So the idea is the Irelia class, in the story, it's set in Runeterra, and Irelia is dead. And, all the different characters in League of Legends, they're very powerful. And when they die, even though they die, that energy still needs to go someplace in this fantasy world. And so that power is looking for a place to go, and you decide, after they die, or whether you know or not, you're trying to take up their helm to become just like them, because you're dedicated to them, you used to love them, or maybe you're, in the case of like Fiddlesticks or Mordekaiser, you're some religious zealot obsessed with them, and you're just trying to follow their ways. And the idea being that by the time you're level 20, the maximum level in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, you are as strong as them, and you just take their place in the world of Runeterra, and then you do what you wish. That would generally be the end of the game. You've done it, and you could have different adventures with your character that has had this harrowing journey, and that'd be the general idea. So in this idea, which isn't a class, but it'd be that Colossus in the city. Colossus, sorry. Galio, the Colossus, in the, wonderful nation, kind of racist nation of Demacia. There it is. In the country of Demacia, this nation, he's really popular. He's a real popular guy. I would assume he is kind of magical, being anti-magical. Like, how'd he get like that, huh? It's probably in his lore. But whatever, people really like him, and they're like, man, we like this guy. And so, there are different, Paladin-esque orders or oaths centered around him and what he represents. Maybe not literally praying to him, and might not literally having an oath to him himself. It's probably all to Demacia, but it's still focusing on what is important about Galio. It's protecting people, you can put in some role play with hating magic. I could definitely imagine it'd be interesting, like, there's a lot of possibilities with, like, a League of Legends set in Runeterra setting. Like, wizards, maybe not warlocks. Warlocks would be a bit different. But, like, wizards, sorcerers, druids, they would all be banned. And, like, you could imagine setting a story on that. That'd be really interesting. Alright, so that's the basic idea. We can put all this flavor text at a later date, but the main idea is it's the Oath of the Colossus. The Oath of Galio is kind of weird, and I like basing these things off of their title. The Colossus. Alright, so let me take a quick look back at those levels. It's 3, 7, 15, and 20. Let me write that down. 3, 7, 15, and 20. All right. Now, anything you look at here, whether you like it or hate it, please comment it down below. I'm just kind of, like I said, stream of consciousness, like my ideas that I have, based on just my experience with Galio as a person that enjoys playing League of Legends. in general as a person that enjoys playing D&D. I'm going to do my best to make it balanced, make it fun. But me personally, as a person that plays video games, I prefer things to be fun than particularly balanced. Like, obviously balance is really important to have your players in the game, but the main focus, the whole point of you playing the game is having fun. You know, an example would be Dark Souls. You know, Dark Souls is really difficult, but, you know, that is a big part of it. It's difficulty, but, you know, people don't play the game for hundreds of thousands of hours, speed running it or doing challenges if it wasn't fun. So you got to focus on the fun, and, you know, that's really important. So fun above all, and just keep that in mind when you look at what I'm putting here. This is literally just me thinking off the cuff. And just for some basis, I'm going to look at other. It should give us a Oath of Devotion. So it gives some examples, and it gives some tenets, which is really cool. We can definitely look at that. When you take the oath at 3rd level, you gain the following 2 channel divinity options: Sacred Weapon, Turn the Unholy. Okay, let's see. You gain oath spells at the Paladin levels listed. Alright. So we could do something with this. One of your Paladin level spells, 3rd level Paladin spells, could be a taunt. So, you know, level 3, you get access to this taunting spell. You can do it, you know, based on your slots and stuff like that, just like a usual spell. I definitely have heard of a homebrew taunt spell feature, whatever thing that we can use. Level 7 Aura of Devotion, so we could have some sort of aura thing. I think that's kind of a normal thing that they like to have in Paladin. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be charmed while you are conscious. At 18th level, the range of this aura increases to 30 feet. Okay. That's interesting. So you could possibly bring in the magic bulwark, or what exactly is it called? It doesn't really explain it on here because Riot, or as I like to call them, Rito, is amazing, and, you know, they always are very thorough about explaining their champions, especially when you're trying to look at them instead of trying to dig through a wiki. But it's all good. So you could level 7, you could have aura of like null magic bulwark, which would be cool. What do we call it on this page? Shield of Durand. Shield of Durand is the taunt, and then anti-magic bulwark. So we could very well have aura of anti-magic bulwark. And so it's like within a certain radius of you, if your teammates are sticking close to you, because you're their tank, then within that radius we could have something like you're resistant to, like we have it here. It could be like you're resistant to the first magical ability or magical effect. Well, we have this to the first negative magical effect and all the different effects once per short or long rest. It's kind of worded weirdly, but it's kind of difficult. We don't want to just give you counter spell, because like then what would be the Morgana class, the Sivir class? You know, those are like centered around, you know, using a spell to not, you know, just completely get rid of a spell, which is really nice. And we don't want to just step on those toes. We're just trying to figure out a way. So the first negative magical effect. So a way that we could do it is within this radius, similar to how Paladin is an aura. Let me cop this. Aura of Devotion, aura of anti-magic bulwark. All right. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you cannot be... Alright, what's the best way to word this? So, I'm thinking the idea would be that as this Paladin of Galio, you are, you give off this aura of your null magic, anti-magic quality. And so it's radiating off of you. It's a whole ass aura. And it can go to 30 feet, right? And so this is, you can't be charmed while you are conscious. So this is really difficult. So I don't know if, I'm trying to think of the best way to make this work. So maybe while within this aura and you're conscious, and then this of course would apply to you and friendly creatures, yeah. Like you aren't affected by magical effects when it comes to deciding resistances. Now what I mean by that is, let's say I shoot you with a fireball. If you're Galio, you're level 7, you have aura of anti-magic bulwark, people within 10 feet of you, let's say there's, how many people fit in there? 10 feet of you, that's a 5 by 5 cube. So that could fit 25 people, including you. So I don't know how big a fireball is off the top of my head. But let's say all you got blasted. All of you would still take the damage, but none of you would be able to be set on fire because he is Galio Paladin is conscious, and all of you get hit really hard just by this brunt force of a darn fireball. But none of you are set ablaze. And then we would want this to make sure that it's it's only attributed towards whatchamacallit, magic, because that's the whole point. All right, can't be affected. What is the best way to word this? Can't be affected by magic. What does that mean? So, what are fire rules? Let me see. That's kind of embarrassing. That's all good though. D&D 5e effects, like magic effects. Let's see. That's fun. All right. Okay, a feature, trait, or something else is magical when the description says so. For example, the possession action of a ghost is not magical and can be dispelled with dispel evil and good. Okay. Let me look at anti-magic field. A 10-foot radius invisible sphere of anti-magic around you. This area is divorced from the magical energy that suffuses the multiverse. Within the sphere, spells can't be cast, summoned creatures disappear, and even magic items become mundane. Until the spell ends, the sphere moves with you, centered on you. Spells and other magical effects, targeted areas of magic spells. That could be interesting, but this is a whole ass abjuration 8th level spell that we would be making be a fully active, conscious thing. We could make it based off of concentration. You need to be conscious and concentrated on it. Sure, why not? Okay. What's another? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's like, yeah, you either stick with your Galio Paladin and you're like good because he's gonna do his taunting stuff like that, and he's gonna do his best to protect you, but no magic. That'd be an interesting twist. All right. It's like, Get away from me, mages, and like he'd just be really good at bum rushing mages, I guess. That would be. It seems interesting. I'm gonna work with this, have it be how it is, and it's probably gonna be broken, but I hope people will have fun with the idea at least, and maybe have it in their games, give me their opinion, and it'll be wonderful. All right. Okay. Strength level 7. You have a 10 feet 10 feet around, not 10 feet around, that's not the right way to do it, a 10-foot radius aura of anti-magic field. Starting at 7th level, you have a 10 foot radius aura of anti-magical field around you as long as you concentrate. And then I will post this thing for that. And then at 18th level, the range of this aura increases to 30 feet. I don't know how broken this is. It's probably really broken. Because that's like an anti-magic field. It just does all of that. We might not make it better at level 18. Because 30 feet is kind of really bad. And so like the idea is, you just think, and I don't know what would be better. Should it make it like, it's like, oh no, you have to focus. You have to focus so you can have your concentration broken, and so then, yeah. Either you have to focus to turn it off, or you have to focus to turn it on. So if you have it focused to turn it on, then someone can break your concentration and then it's off. But then you have to focus to turn it on, or turn it off, then, I don't know, that seems kind of weird. It might be broken, but I'm gonna just, fly with it. I think this is kind of funny. I think 30 feet, my goodness, 30 feet. It's probably too much. Yeah, I definitely get what they're going with when it came to the aura of devotion, but this is a lot stronger than that, so we're gonna strike that from the record. Let me see if I can work with this line spacing. Single, damn. And then what is this highlight? None. No? Weird. Okay, line spacing. Single. Alright, whatever. Then so you could put that in there. Be like, hey, what this? Whoops. Like, bam. Bam, you got it here, right here, folks. Hog. Purity of spirit. Beginning, you are always under the effects of protection from good and evil spell. Oh, so they have something similar like this. So at level 15, they in this oath, they have you under the effects of a spell. So this is very similar. We kind of swapped some things around unintentionally, and it's pretty good. All right, cool. That's nice. Okie dokie. This is unofficial material. That's cool. Oath of the Open Sea. That's cool. Getting creative with the whole water idea. So let's see. Yeah, so it seems level 3, you get the following two channel divinity options. That seems to be the thing. What you get at level 3 is you get channel divinity, which is two options. You gain the following two channel divinity options. So I guess this is a question for the people that have played Paladin a lot. Does that mean you can do one of these two at any given time, depending on the rules of them? Or does that mean that when I make a Paladin that I choose this? That's either way I should make two, you know? Um, to make sure that there's a choice. So it's channel divinity, and then you get these spells. Yeah. Alright, cool. It's really cool. When you take this oath, you can, yeah, okay. So they have things about holiness, and this one has about water, which is really cool. Liberation. You emanate an aura while you're not incapacitated. Even any creature of your choice within 10 feet of you cannot be grappled or restrained, my goodness. As well as ignore penalties on movement or attacks while underwater. So based on these, I could definitely imagine that we might make this aura of anti-magic bulwark not focus-based. I could imagine it being either way, either keeping it or buffing it by making it not concentration-based. I can imagine either things going. Please tell me what you think down in the comments below. Alrighty, we're still looking good. Alright, level 15. We should do level 3, but that's like bringing spells together, which is kind of not my specialty. They have some interesting ideas here. So I'm thinking level 3, since that's when you get the spell list. So, yeah. So it's 3rd, 5th, 9th, 13th, and 17th. Okay. Yeah, I'll just cop this. Not take these spells, just taking this kind of format. Oh, wow. Why did this look so nice? That's amazing. We'll have a whole page for it. And so I'm a big fan of creative work like this, and I'm having a lot of fun, by the way. And yeah, these are cool. I'm not gonna do it. So it seems to be just 2 spells for each, which is nice. So yeah, we could definitely do some cool stuff. Do we have a 3rd level spell? Just B, you can cast anti-magic field. That might be a little too much to get a level 7. Just around you 24/7. Let me see. D&D 5e taunt spell. We do have something here in our attempt at a class, Shield of Durand, which I guess we could name it. How to taunt. Taunt. Yeah, this is about like how in-game to do it. Once per short or long rest is an action, all enemies within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. Yeah. On a failed save, that creature must use its next turn moving towards you in a short space possible. And for the next minute, it has a disadvantage on attack rolls. This is really cool. This seems cool. This is called Taunting Aura, which we can change the name of, and it's literally the same thing as we have here. So that's pretty cool. We could have it be a spell. It wouldn't have like the days thing. It'd have like, you know, the obvious D&D paladin levels and spells and stuff like that, which I'm not completely familiar as to how exactly it works with this, because you have 1st through 5th spell slots per level. Well, just 1 through 5 spell levels. I don't play a lot of casters, so I'm kind of miffed on this as to what it means. But I'm sure it means things. We're all good. And yeah, I can imagine making, you know, Shield of Durand be a 3rd level paladin spell. I'd have to get, you know, opinions from other people as to how exactly that would work. But yeah, that would be the idea. All right, Shield of Durand. That could be cool. Well, you're level 3. You have your classic taunt that, you know, Galio is famous for. And then protection from good and evil sanctuary. Okay. Let's look at Galio. Where did Galio go? All right. So Galio, he has this big, slam down attack, which is interesting. He has his Winds of War, which is cool. It's kind of like a big nuke thing. That's the Shield of Durand. That's great. The Justice Punch. And then the Hero's Entrance that we could probably... I'm not really sure the best way to bring that in. Can we have spells that are just like, you fly into the air and you smash down because you're a badass? Whoa! You can emanate an aura of sunlight for 1 minute. Bright light shines from you. Whenever an enemy creature shares the bright light, the creature takes 10 radiant damage. That's cool. Yeah, so you can have things to do as actions. So we kind of combined Aura of Devotion and Purity of Spirit into our kind of own version that fits with Galio really well. And then, so we could have something at level 15 that fits, or we can have spells in the Paladin spell set that fit Galio. So we have Shield of Durand. And then, so let's see, Winds of War that deals damage over time. So it's like a big gust of wind. So like maybe we can make like a pushback spell, because Winds of War, it's not really in the scheme of Galio as a character in the story. He's not there to nuke people. He's there to be a big brother for people and to help them out. And having like a low damaging nuke thing, damage over time, that's not a lot of fun trying to keep track of in D&D. So what if we just have this big gust of wind from your big, big gold beautiful wings, and maybe it's like a pushback ability. You focus a target, and then, based on your angle from them, they move, a certain number of squares based on, the level of the spell that you do. Because you can do that, right? You can cast spells at different levels. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a spellcaster. I play barbarian, monk. I played fighter before, and that's about it. I wish I had a lot more time for D&D. And so this is me trying to make time for it. Hopefully, people will like this and people will want to help me, and, we can get some games going, make some really good stuff. People can see it, and it'll be wonderful. That'd be a dream of mine, you could say. And so we'd have Shield of Durand and Winds of War. War. Alright. So 5th level. That's cool. We have his Q and his W. But, we're not trying to overly make it feel like Galio. Just like how his Winds of War isn't just a weird tornado that does a bit of damage for a couple of seconds. It's like a protector thing. If you're pushing it away, supposedly away from your enemies or away from your teammates. So if someone's getting up way too close, you want to make sure that they're fighting, where you want them to be, not where they're trying to get, because they're trying to get to whoever your teammate is. You could very well use it to blast someone into a wall. That could probably do some damage. Things like that. And so I think that's cool. I'm sure there could be some creative uses, like, blow your friend, here or there. There's a lot of, goofs and gags that could be done, which will be fun. Let's see. Okay. There's Justice Punch. I think I want to save Hero's Entrance. However, we incorporate it for the level 20 thing. the level 20 oath feature, because it's very iconic for him. But then it is very iconic, and there's a lot of different things to think about, because like not a lot of games sadly get to level 20. From what I've heard and experienced, it's quite rare. And so maybe having this earlier, you know, as like a maybe level 15 level, I don't know if level 7 spell or level 9 spell would quite fit it, but we just kind of, you know, we need to think about that as to how to best make that work. So please give your opinion down in the comments. I don't think, you know, we're gonna make this whole class right now. Oh, we can think about the divine summonings, or what is it called? Channel divinity. So you can 2 channel divinity options, which is really cool. So what could we think that they'd be? As an action, you can imbue one weapon that you're holding with positive energy, with those positive vibes, dude. Using your channel divinity. Using your channel divinity. Is that once a day? I'm a little confused as to the channel divinity mechanic. You can end this as an action. You present your holy symbol and speak a prayer, censoring fiends and using your channel divinity. Okay. What is channel divinity? You gain the ability to channel divine energy directly from your deity, using the energy to fuel magical effects. You start with 2 such effects. Turn undead and an effect determined by your domain. Is that once a day? I'm not exactly sure. Each channel divinity, right? How to use it. When you use your channel divinity, choose which option to use. You ascend, finish. Okay, yeah, that explains it. All right, cool. So like a once a day thing. We could have one of your channel divinities be your taunt, or it could be the hero's entrance. Maybe you get your hero's entrance right at the beginning. You know, you try to channel the divinity of, you know, Galio, what he represents, you know, protecting people. You sprout these big, beautiful golden wings. You fly up into the air and crash down. That might be a bit too grandiose, but I hope you get what I'm thinking of. So like that's like a once a day thing. That could be a cool idea. A way that we can bring that in real early. And so people aren't like, man, I gotta get to level 20 or 15-9, whatever, to do my classic thing. I have this whole Galio subclass that I found on the internet. So what's going on? What the heck? So yeah, there's a lot of different ideas that we can do. I just noticed that this is currently been like almost 45 minutes, 43 minutes. And, you know, this could only go on longer. I could talk about this, just thinking about this stuff, for hours and hours on end. This is what I want my channel to be. I want it to be creative projects, based around, you know, making people happy, making people happy to play games, happy to experience stories, fill the fantasy of a character that you're really passionate about. You know, there could be people passionate about Galio or just League of Legends in general that would be interested in this. If you see this video, I know it's really long. I'm sorry about that, but I'm just pouring straight from the heart right now. Please share this to anyone that would be interested in your opinion, and that would help me a lot. And I hope you really enjoyed this. It's just a taste of what's to come. I do plan to have more edited, more planned videos in the future. I just have been sitting on my hands way too long when it came to making videos, and so I just wanted to jump up and do this thing right now because it was on my mind. And I hope you like it. I hope you like my energy, my plans, and I hope you will join me and support me in the future. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.